So we'll listen to the song. The track's are already up on our Twitter handle at Smooth981FM. If you're looking for it, please type this hashtag Grapevine981. That way you'd easily find the songs. Flavour by Bigklef. Your thoughts, guys?
Listen to the song. I'm like, it's okay, but it's forgettable. Sorry, that's genuinely how I felt about it, because it sounds like something I've heard before, and it sounds like, you know, something that I have in the background, and you don't even vibe to it. You're like, for sure, yeah.
Even when he started rapping, I didn't think all the way. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry. That's just me. I'm just.
You know, I think that the length of the clip that we played doesn't really do the song much justice, to be honest. And I need to hear it a second time so I can be like, okay, let's see if there are any catchy lyrics here. But I actually do like the song. And then, you know, I have to give props to anybody that's rocking the baritone, because it's not easy to actually have, you know, songs that work for you on that range. I think it's catchy. But I just need to listen a bit more.
That's the thing. That's why I don't think it's catchy. If it was catchy the first time round, you'd be like, that's a sticky song. I think that it's a song that could grow on you. I think it's a song that if it's promoted and pushed right, I think it will grow on you, because it's a good song.
Yeah, it's a feel-good vibe.
It just sounds familiar.
I agree with you. Perhaps maybe the familiarity is because he has a Burna Boy vibe. I don't know if that's not exactly the same. Not the same boat. I said like. But when I heard, so I think this sound is going to be very popular in Nigeria. So Burna Boy has taken us by storm. He has that chilled, sound. And for me, when I heard him, I thought, okay, this would be like a protege of Burna Boy. Sounding a bit like about finding his own sound. But with regards to would I listen to it again, perhaps I play it in the background. I think it's a good song. I don't think it's bad. I think it's
just not amazing.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that old, I think the 90s track. What's up?
Craig David, right?
David, that's
why I said
it.
Thought that came to
that's
mind.
where it ended.
Someone actually just sent a message.
Yeah, it literally is just, you see, it's there.
Our WhatsApp number is 080.
A big shout out to Bigklef.
0809 444 0981. Please add your names to your messages so we can see them. Falami says it's a Craig David song he sampled. And Freda says, Folu, I missed you. Where did you go?
Oh my gosh, I've been right here. I'm also on YouTube.
See?
Actually, you've been very busy, and people should follow you on Instagram to find out what you've been up to. Because before when we think you found you here, then you move to another spot.
She's living the life.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the video that we'll be reviewing today. Lagos, you're listening to the Grapevine, and it's brought to you by Verve. This video, it's titled Red Light. It's actually the video to the song. Hotyce is supposed to be in the studio with us, but he's still on his way. He had a little problem on the way, but he will make it here. So fingers crossed. Now the video is to the song Red Light, Hotyce featuring Jagz. Let us listen and let us know what you think.
Okay, this was edited, Abby. This was edited, though.
You better take caution. Get out and get money.
Need I say more about this? After he ended 2018 with a bang, well, Hotyce came back to give us this red. In fact, I feel like it should have been titled Red Hot, but it's titled Red Light, and it's featuring Jagz. But for me, you saw the video.
Is Red Hot Ice Cold, so it's okay. It's okay. We see it. No, I did see the video. It's an okay video. I think Hotyce is just stepping into the game, and he's trying to establish himself. So I think for a rap song, it sort of focused, as it should, on him, essentially. You have your obligatory babes, counting in various positions. But for me, what will always be the most powerful is the song itself. I think Hotyce is a really, really good rapper. And I was so pleasantly surprised to listen to his album, and I'll never forget it because I think they dropped it off randomly at the studio.
Yes.
I had no idea who this fellow was. Let me know, like, I was like, oh, Daisy, interesting. We just played.
Let me just pick it up.
And they're fire tracks, and I think he's really coming out strong. And I really hope he manages to sustain this and keep innovating within the space. I'm hoping that a second video will be more impressive. But for what it is right now, I think it's pretty dope. So shout out to Hotyce.
I think this video is fire. To be honest, I mean,
am I just underwhelmed today?
I mean, like you're playing the contrast. It's okay, you know. You need a little bit of crunchy, a little bit of sauce. That's okay, texture wise. This video is fire. You know, when it starts out, you're like, okay, you know, am I hearing a Marley vibe coming on right now? And then you also notice the sample of the song itself of Holy Grail, Jay-Z and Justin that comes into play there. And I love the whole lady in the violin with the dress thing. I thought this video is seriously, like, I mean, I was like, okay, are we gonna see Clarence shot it? But actually, this is by Mex.
Mex, yes.
Yeah.
And you know what, Mex? I want to see everything else that you're doing after this, because this was the thought process alone is super complicated, and that's dope.
No, but Mex has fire videos. I will give him that. Like, I'm sorry if I sound underwhelmed. I'm not. I just thought it was nice. You know?
All right. So I'm glad I wasn't. So I told Valentine when he came in this morning that I didn't really like the video, and he's like, "Oh, really?" I was like,
I was shocked.
He was really shocked, and I was like, "Well, it was
flabbergasted."
I mean,
I was like, there wasn't
we're
anything,
on the same page.
there wasn't anything different from it. It was just the song is really good. So like what you said, with regards to him being a great rapper, I read the comments as well from people, and they all, you know, they compared him to MI. They said, you know, I haven't heard anything as good since MI. Sorry, I'm comparing people, but yeah. But with regards to the video, I switched up. I had to watch it because I had to watch it. It wasn't because it was anything interesting.
It is a long video though. It's over 4 minutes long, but so was Holy Grail, so maybe that's what they were also going for.
So was Fastlane, Royce, and Eminem, which was the video it reminded me a bit about.
But, you know, there's something to be said for scene changes. There's something to be said for sort of progression in a story. There's something, you know, and that's why I understand why the video was what it was, because it's one of his first offerings. It may not be necessarily his first, but it's definitely the first major one. You've got Jesse on it as well, and it's dope. There's nothing wrong with how the video was shot. I think it's nice.
Yes.
It just isn't necessarily a standout or a breakout video. I don't see it as a video that's going to win awards. That's what I'm thinking of in my head, because there's some videos you see and you're like, oh, that's different. But Jeff, you're just like, no.
I'm like, you're North Pole, I'm South Pole. Let's just...
No, but big shout out to Hotyce. I do really like the song, but I like the album. If you haven't heard it, Red Hot Ice Cold.
So guys, here's a caveat. We're not trying to push the video for a Grammy and Grammy nominations of some sort. I would say let's call him some slack.
But if you're doing, and all the slack has been because I already said it. I think it's a dope video.
No, it's a great song.
It's not a standout one to me.
Yes.
And any work that you're putting out, it's not that you're not necessarily putting it out because you want an award, but it is a contender because they share the awards that go for best. So anything you do, what's the best to which I can do?
If you're going to invest a lot of money in putting up a video, you'd hope that it would be, you know, but not saying it's great. I mean, people would watch it, you listen to the song is good enough for you to accept anything in the video. To be honest, this is not anything in the video. It is creative, it is artistic. But with regards to it being, it looks expensive. But with regards to it being different or something unique, you know, it's for me it wasn't.
You guys out there listening, please tweet at us. Just let us know. I want to know what you think.
Because we are very divided in the studio right now.
I mean,
seriously,
I definitely want to know your thoughts.
Yeah,
because guys, I love the video. I love the song. Not because I've known the guy for 8 years. That's on the side. But the fact that
just
I
throwing in.
No. The thing about it is, I know this guy's track record, and I'm actually. Okay.
Yeah, you see.
We'll take a break later.
Yeah, you see previous thoughts.
Yeah.
The Grapevine is brought to you by Verve.
Love music.
But also don't forget that I didn't have that much time to look at the stuff.
So
maybe that's as what's accounting for my.
No, excuse me, that's not what Valentine said to me.
No,
Which video? Hotyce. This is the first time I'm seeing the video. I listened to the song. It was a different video. It wasn't Hotyce. I don't remember the exact video. Definitely not this one. This is a job, man.
That is a great rapper. There's no doubt about it. She's a great rapper. But with that, I didn't think the video was anything extraordinary. I felt like I'd seen something like that.
Yeah, it feels like a standard video.
Someone was speaking about that senator-elect nude videos.
Okay, what
is nudity and sex scandal making it more popular?
Yes.
This is like
who knew about him?
Yes, because now now you're a blown guy.
Somebody else said it's a penile code. I think I
No, people like crazy. And I remember someone saying there was a video of me zanking somewhere and they're like, Folu, just beg me because if I release this video, all your you can't enter government again. I said in Nigeria, there's nothing that can stop me from being. I said, don't we have dancing governor? Don't we have singing senators?
Don't we have
That's my point. He has his records. So I mean,
you know that came in for a second term with all the nonsense he had been doing.
I mean,
wasn't there has got a jam? That was DJ. What's what playing?
So I'm like, please, people should not tell me such things. This is Nigeria. I'm yet to hear the thing that's going to stop me. These are the facts.
So
Okay. Three. Yes, Sue Amber. I was wondering when he was going to do this because she has been running her mouth since.
So you're supporting him?
Of course, I'm supporting him. This Amber Heard.
You
remember how far back this thing has gone.
Yeah, but I think there are 2 sides.
No, please stop it. Stop it.
This will do nothing.
And this babes thing, do you know, since like 2 years ago, BT when she was so show up, and I remember even my handler at the time was just like, man, this her boyfriend is problematic because he wants himself to blow, and he was not blowing like babes, so that's problematic for them. Everybody knows that this relationship has been abusive, and now it's caught on IG Live.
And they've made it public since. Nobody said anything. That's one worry that I have. So people won't believe what you're saying, even when
it's not people don't believe it. She was protecting him. She refused to complain. Do you understand? She did not complain. This thing that happened, is it not by accident that it has happened?
No. Instagram Live.
That would have been the end of it.
Yes. It will just continue as it's been continuing.
That's it.
Slap, bro.
I mean, I felt that thing.
I swear down.
Okay, you watched it.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
Super disturbing.
Oh. Alright guys, we're up.
This is Smooth 98.1. You're listening to the Grapevine, and it's brought to you by Verve. We have in the studio Folu Storms joining us this morning. Hi, Folu.
Yeah, good morning, Lagos.
And Chef Jeff, good morning.
Yeah.
All the way.
You know, your ear is tempered when silence became silence,
Alright. He's using his ID.
Let me do my
Oh yeah, he just got back.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
My visa to Nigeria got expired soon.
Alright, let's get into the stories. Before the break, you heard the song and the video we reviewed. The links are up on Twitter at Smooth981FM. The song was titled Flavour by Bigklef. The video to the other song that we reviewed, Red Lights by Hotyce, featuring Jagz, was directed by Mex. Please let us know your thoughts regarding the song and the video on our Twitter handle. Use that hashtag Grapevine981. Zook from Yaba sent in this message on WhatsApp.
Zook says the Bigklef sounds like black magic. Can Nigerians write their own songs and who can stop sampling other songs? It sounds very boring. Yawns.
Sampling other people's songs is leads us to the first story that we treat, which is something we talked about earlier. I think that was in December when the video was taken down. I was talking about the Tiwa Savage's one video. That video was taken down because somebody reported and said that Danny Young said that song was his, or that she sampled every part of his song.
Yeah.
But the video is back up now.
Ajibola Olumuyiwa Danladi.
I'm telling you.
Danny Young.
Young.
At least I know your name. Don't that?
What do you think?
Well,
she's the lawyer.
Listen, I think right now it's a little bit he said, she said. The question is what proof he really has, you know. Unfortunately, we don't dismiss it entirely out of hand because it is something that is possible. Now, Tiwa may not be aware that this may have been the case, but if this young artist had submitted his stuff maybe to Don Jazzy back in the day or to somebody in the group back in the day, and that was sort of put forward as, oh, listen to this, we could go with this idea, or someone was able to recreate it. I know people that it's been done to. I know, friends that have done it between themselves. So it is not unheard of.
Yeah.
I think it's quite tough because Danny is going to be getting the tough end of the stick right now because you can't touch Tiwa. And really, I really doubt that the Tiwa Savage that we know and that I have some general awareness of, I've got friends who are good friends with her. I really doubt that she's in the space where she wants to steal somebody's music. She's not going to deliberately try and jack your music. And I think that Danny really should have tried to figure out a better way to resolve this. You already went to the YouTube community, they did their research or they did their homework, nothing was found. Why do you think you will succeed in the court of law? Or is this purely because you want your name to be out there? And we can't ignore that possibility as well.
Yes.
But why do you say you can't touch Tiwa though? Like, is there something?
I'm saying that there's no how he's going to come out of this smelling like roses, because right now she is a darling, and she has been a darling for a while.
I was just going to say the Bayhive.
You can't come out of that smelling good. You can't come out of that looking good. It's tough. Even if you win, even if this did happen, there are going to be so many people that will be so upset with you because you took an idol and you dragged them down, or you took an icon and you dragged them in the mud.
But let me speak for the masses now. People because again, that's the reason why many people would turn a blind eye when someone in the public eye offends them or does something against them, because you're thinking
that's why I said
the
first thing is, this is a common story. We've heard this before, and I understand that it is very possible that this happens.
So when I heard the story the first time, my take was proud of him that he would even have the guts to do this, with someone like Tiwa Savage. But if he's going all the way to court, I want to assume that he has proof. And if he does not have proof, then he should be sent to jail.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say, because this Nigeria, proof is not necessary. Because there are people that will look in the eye and say this thing. I mean, there are people who've done it to guys I know, where some girl is trying to chat you up or hit you up for money and trying to move less, and just shouting, "Pay me my money!" In the middle of the street. At that point, nobody needs proof. The taint is enough. And right now, it is also very possible that that's what Danny is going for. The taint. He's like, yeah, I can go head to head with you, and because she's a woman as well, why not?
I like the trail of the conversation here, because he links us to this next. I don't know if it's hilarious. It wasn't hilarious at the time when Deyemi got that comment from a fan. Somebody trolled him. Well, somebody actually just went on his Instagram and commented, that she's pregnant for Deyemi Okanlawon, who replied very quickly in very unequivocal terms, saying, "Who or whatever you are, I'll leave this here for the world to see." And he says, "Please do not ruin my marriage," in simpler terms. Well, what are your thoughts, babe?
Well, that is why I stepped in and said, please, he has the money, maybe you should go ahead, which I thought was hilarious. But also this is why I said people will try it. People will try it. Once you are seen as being relatively successful, somebody feels that there's something they can get out of you. In a time where people are feeling particularly desperate, or they're like, no, this is unfair, you have something, I want it. Why would somebody just wake up and play this kind of rough play on Instagram?
It's just for laughs.
I just think that, maybe there could be a side whereby the joke was intended, but the words just had the wrong portrayal, basically.
Let me say something.
Or the words, listen, how many people can be claiming to be pregnant for some tool, for instance, now, alright? So, it's like, you have a crush on somebody, you're...
Yeah, this is a joke, because
it's an
expensive joke, yes.
Deyemi and his wife turned it into a joke.
Yes.
This would not have been a joke if they'd taken offense to it.
Yes. I think the real MVP in this story is his wife.
Yeah.
I love her response. I love the fact that she was like, we even need it, we're looking for a girl. You can afford it. So, very, very love, but not everyone. And she must have been in a good mood. Imagine if they just had a quarrel or something. She was.
That's like fine.
Come and explain yourself.
Honestly,
people
it's too expensive.
Why is your name in the tweet? Is it only you? Is it only you they sought to tweet about?
And that's why really people need to be very careful with the kind of comments they leave on the pages of this unknown celebrities. You just feel like they get away with murder if they can't. We have messages. Gloria on WhatsApp sent in this one. So why does the song sound familiar? I think that's speaking to the first song played by Bigklef. Was everyone use that voice? And then she speaks to the other song, Red Light by Hotyce. Says, now that's a jam. Hotyce, it's very red. Alright. So let's talk about the South African singer Wodumo, who has been assaulted by her boyfriend for the 10th time, but this time around it was caught on a live video, on Instagram Live. and she said she's been assaulted. Well, it's common tale that she's been assaulted a lot of time by the boyfriend, but we have insights to this.
Babes Wodumo. This is, I mean, I'm happy that at least this has finally come out on social media, because I know that as far back as 2 BET Awards ago, she was meant to show up. She didn't come through because her boyfriend wasn't happy with certain things, and this is insider information where all of this is coming through. And at the time, I was just still trying to understand, like, I don't understand, what do you mean her boyfriend, like, what? Her boyfriend had become her manager, but he also has a music career, so you can see things were in conflict there, because he was more interested in him being as blown as Babes was. And I remember even at the time, industry insiders were really concerned about the nature of their relationship. Also, we have to look at the wider context of the attacks on women in South Africa by their own men, which is really horrific. We know that a good friend, Amila, was murdered by her boyfriend, and that was really, really shocking stuff when it happened, I think last year or the year before. And I'll remember her name, her soul rest in peace, and I remember it being horrible. The boy's family covered up everything. This is a trend. It is something that is so easy to see. You could be walking in Maboneng, and unfortunately, if a guy decided that he wanted to lash out at a girl, most people would just stand around and watch, and that is frightening and horrific to me. I hope that Babes is courageous enough to get the help that she needs and get out of this toxic relationship before it ends, or God forbid, or result in something even worse than this. But it is a common story. People that are in abusive relationships are constantly trying to protect their abusers and trying to hide what's happening. But now it's come out on IG Live. I really hope that he is prosecuted to the first extent of the law, and I really hope that the community rally around her in this time, because it's horrible for this thing to come out to come out on social media, and for you to have been dealing with this. There's so many different layers of distress that she will most likely be in at the moment. So I just hope that she's able to find some sort of closure and again remove herself from this heavily toxic situation.
We hope she removes herself, Chef Jeff. I'm going to link you with a psychological angle based on the fact that they said sometimes at a level when it gets to this level of abuse, sometimes the victim even wants to stay in the relationship.
Yeah, there's a particular syndrome. I can't remember which one it is that makes people, Stockholm syndrome, that make people stay in it. But here's the thing, ladies, and even guys get into abusive relationships too. I mean, there's no need to stay. Just know your worth. The moment it gets abusive, you are now worth a whole lot more. Move on and get into something else. I saw the video, and I felt this in my heart, my soul, everything. It was horrific. And if there's no justice that goes forth with this, I can't believe in a system where a man could do something like that and just go away scot-free. This was horrific to watch, and I'm glad that this actually was live, so everybody's seeing everything. There's no way you can hide around this. There's no cloud you can put around this. There's no spin you can put around this. This was live, not a pre-recorded video, not like nothing, right in front of them. Justice has to be done.
Yeah, very true. And I think the key word here is support. I would really love for her fans to rally around her and make sure, encourage her and give her enough strength to do the right thing. The thing is that she's a celebrity, she's a role model, so she has a role to play, because her actions will have an impact on her fans. So people who are probably in abusive relationships, who are seeing that she had the strength and the courage to move away, like you mentioned, so many times we see it happen, and we just, sweep under the carpet. He was angry, was upset. So her taking a stance would give a big message, particularly to other young South Africans. Perhaps they need to go on a huge campaign there, because this is so rampant.
You're listening to the Grapevine, and it's brought to you by Verb. After the break, remember the number to send a message to is 0809-444-0981. Grateful for the allotted time now. I have been told that we do not have a break into the next 5 minutes. Now let's continue the stories. Looking at this one from about Mo Abudu being given an honor from Cannes. They call this one the Médailles d'honneur in Cannes. It's Medal of Honor, pretty much.
Yes.
But she said she's yet to receive the award physically until the coming months.
So it's been given in Cannes at MIPTV, which is interesting, and she's one of 4 recipients of the award. I think being awarded in any way, shape, or form is a big deal, because people sat down and they looked at your achievements and they looked at your accomplishments. And it's however you feel personally about Mo Abudu, and I know that she's definitely a woman that sparks feelings on different polls for different people, right? But you cannot deny the amount of work that she's put into this media industry. You can't deny the strides that she's made. At every turn when people say, "Oh, it's not possible, you're just doing this for flash, it's going to fade," and she hasn't faded out. So I think definitely accolades are due. So she deserves the accolades, man.
I just feel like we are in March right now, and we talked about that. How about we just wait for June? All right, let's do every 6 months, and then review all the awards and nominations she's gotten within that time.
Just be doing summary.
Because it's like
no.
Last month we talked about her.
This
Now
is
she's back
fitting.
again.
It's International Women's Week, like I've been hammering it on Valentine's Day, and she is definitely a pace setter in the media entertainment industry in Nigeria. So if she receives an award every week, we talk about it every week. Until one women get
I can't say.
You see how
I'll stay safe.
You see how this
I hope people are ready 8th of March, International Women's Day. So we expect our presents, nice flowers.
Thank you for that reminder, Valentine.
So everyone just be aware. I've said it now.
Why you calling my name?
Because you're
People
the
are
only
trying to toast girls. International Women's Day is a good day to start.
You are the woman of my dream.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are internationally woman.
Oh,
Because many of them will not understand
That's the
what
kind of toasting.
If you want to borrow some lines, please send us a message to WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. We have messages in. Biggie from K2 says Deyemi is a cool guy and a good bad guy, and he looks hot on and off screen. Girls of nowadays will force themselves on celebrities. Shame. In other news, Folu, what's your flavor? Tell me what you.
International Women's Day.
Thank you. Nice plug, right?
Which notes have I been harassing people for now? If people should know the deal.
No, there's another.
The most
it's a higher
recent
note
one.
now.
Yeah.
No, there's no higher notes.
But
It's note 9.
Okay.
It's what I did in my life.
Zook from Yaba says, "Oh, babes, Wodumo, the princess of Wom."
Yeah, Gokum music.
Gokum, that's right. Babes and Mampintsha, that's DJ Mampintsha, her boyfriend, make very good music together, but she definitely has to leave him. Her view story has been everywhere. How can she settle for such a that wears such boxers?
Wow.
He said, wow.
They took it to his boxers.
Is he one of
They
those?
took it to his
Please,
boxers.
boys, let me just make this announcement. Gentlemen, young boys, my millennials, listen, lend me your ears.
Yes, please.
You cannot be wearing TNT boxers. It's
But how do you see? How do
No,
you see?
but do people
How do
actually
you know?
do that?
Before you wear your boxer, let me pick a look at before you own your trouser. Perhaps you look at your underwear. Perhaps you give it a good perusal.
You see, there's a post office box there.
Right. Let's give people an opportunity to, take a look at their boxers. If it's torn or you've been wearing for a week, we'll take a break, change it.
How do we
When
get
we
from
come
DJ
back,
Mampintsha to?
I'm just like I'm
When
just
we
saying
come back-
silence because I'm just
when
scarred
we
right
come
now.
back, then you're
This is-
legitimate
Yo.
to be part of this show.
Like in the past week, I've just been assaulted with photographs of boys sagging with like torn boxers. I'm like,
I saw one.
Is it deliberate or they just do it?
I think they're just old ass boxers. They're just old boxers that they haven't checked, and you're sagging.
Careless.
That's my point. My thing is, if you were wearing your trousers up around your waist where they should be, we wouldn't even be in this conversation. We wouldn't be having it. But you insist on showing me butt cheek, and now there's like, or some guy that after coming out, and you know how people open their car doors and it hits your car. So I was just like, it's okay, I'll be fine. And he just turned around and I just saw crack. Just big crack. I was like, sir!
You even forget the possibility of a scratch on your car.
No, I was just assaulted by I was like, what? I was like, can't you feel the breeze? You must be able to feel the breeze. Dude, it was a lot of crack. It wasn't like
He's used to it. He's been doing it for a very long
Fresh
time.
air.
Yeah, he's used to it. He doesn't know the difference.
Because I was like, you should.
No.
You know, if you expose someone, you just
Breeze is just
It's
blowing.
breeze blowing somewhere it's not supposed to be blowing. Nah, I was not happy with that guy. I wasn't. I couldn't even address him about how he hit my car. Was crack everywhere.
Just making good things.
To finish, I'll talk about how I really feel. People should stop bullying because as much as they feel that Chloe shouldn't be complaining, like this attack on her family is deep.
And we're back. Lagos viewers joined us. You're listening to the Grapevine, and it's brought to you by Verve. In the studio, we have Folu Storms
Yeah.
and Chef Jeff 3000.
Yeah.
Those are the handles on social media.
This your year is really disappointing. I had to just tell you.
It's foreign.
I did the
Oh yeah, that's.
Let's talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, guys. We know the story. So apparently, Johnny Depp has filed a $15 million defamation suit against his ex Amber Heard, who, by the way, in December of 2018, wrote on Washington Post how, chronicling how she's abused by Johnny Depp. At that time, precisely, there's some statement she made that I feel we should take note of. She says that she's been a victim of Johnny Depp. She, as a victim, she says she writes this as a woman who had to change her number weekly because of the heat she was getting death threats. Yes. I mean, so what? Is there some level of truth to what she's been saying?
So very serious stuff. I think when she mentions it as a public figure, that she felt the full force of the culture's wrath for women who speak out when she spoke up against sexual violence, and there is definite truth to that. I think that women who do stand up and say, listen, I've been abused or I've been assaulted, especially if it's against a popular figure in the community or in the environment, it's a tough pill for the community to swallow, because what that says is basically, as a community, you guys have failed, is that you've seen this happen and you let it happen. Now, at the time though, when those comments came out, they were pretty much dismissed as false. Johnny Depp had denied that, and had then gone on to sort of talk about Amber Heard's behavior over the period of time. I mean, did she poop in a pillowcase or on his bed? I mean, it was a little bit violent, and you could see that she played quite a violent role in this relationship, but we couldn't yet ascertain whether Johnny was involved in that, which is why he's now filing this defamation suit, because for years this has sort of carried on, and he's been denying it consistently. So we're really in a case of he said, she said, and it's not looking good for either of the parties. I mean, I remember being very distressed, and Jeff was very quick to point out, listen, there's two sides to every story, but I saw it and I rolled my eyes. I was like, Amber, I heard you, Amber. It's okay, Amber, whatever. But, you know, unfortunately, that is how most of society reacts in situations like this, especially when you don't want to believe that your icons or your idols are, you know, may perhaps not be good people.
I mean, it's very easy to speculate that this was a mutually abusive experience for everybody, but I think that she has a level of madness to her as well. I think there's little doubt about that side there. But I also think that she's overplaying the script right now with this.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I just feel like if I'm going to read something and you're going to say for months I already left my apartment, I'm really not going to believe that statement, to be honest, because I mean, I don't know. This should have just been done and dusted. Like, he's paid the divorce amount. You're both now in separate
donated
pathways
to charity.
That she donated to charity, apparently. So then I don't know what more are you aiming for? Your career is going good. You were just in what's it called, the Marvel movie just very recently.
Yes.
So things are on the good side for you. Johnny Depp, his career tanked. So what more are you looking for?
But you have to remember, hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how good her career is going. I'm not saying, but just to say that a woman who is scorned or feels that she wants to get back at him, and particularly when it comes from an emotional perspective, would go to any length. It doesn't matter how great she's doing.
You know, but that's a little bit what concerns me, is that we're now more in the territory of revenge as opposed to justice. So if this were a real issue, if you'd really, not if it were a real issue, because I don't know that, but I would like to see her prosecuted. I would like to see legal action. If that's what it takes, let there be legal action. Let's not go to the pages of papers. Let's not make this a press debacle. Let's not, because now what you're trying to do, or what it appears that you're doing, is you just want to ruin his reputation. You actually want to destroy his career.
Him,
and that's very different to getting justice or being heard out in a court of law that this is what happened to me, and I can, at least to some extent, show you that this is what happened to me, legally speaking, if you know what I mean.
At the beginning, the damage was done, so she
did maximum damage at the
she
beginning.
put the knife in there, so it's like, okay, why are you going back to check whether the knife is still in there?
Figuratively speaking.
Like, after all
no chance of resurrection. You stay there, you die there, and remain there.
Alright, talking about that, that's how we just got to the end of the show, Lagos. The Grapevine 981 has been brought to you by Verve. It's still brought to you by Verve. Thank you, MI. Thank you, Godswill from Lekki. We see your messages. Thank you, Ade. I know, Abia has. Thank you for your message as well. Lagos, we have more coming up though.
Alright, 9 o'clock, we'll bring you Lagos Talks 981, whereby we will be talking stories. But before we go,
log out.
Find me at Jeff3000 on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm guessing Folu is still here with you guys on Folu Storms.
Oh yes, find me as Folu Storms on all social media platforms, but if you go on YouTube, you can also find me as a character called Lani, Man of Her Dreams. It's the latest, a bit comedy, bit drama, but every bit fantastic. Please go check it out.
I like the how to stay sweet 101.
Yeah.
It's just
sweet game.
Alright, Lagos, the sweet people are still in the studio. Valentine and I will be back at 9 o'clock for Lagos Talks 981, and we go into some serious stuff with the stories from this morning where you get to talk, and we open the phone lines. See you soon.
You're doing the next story.
Please, I'm finished. Am I working? They pay me.
Thanks,
Meanwhile,
guys.
please, have you people pushed for stipend for?
Yeah, sound.
Based on my
sound like
frequency of
Mr.
Wow.
You're slowly
based on frequency of my appearance.